The other morning on Twitter, at INFNYC, brought up a rather incendiary topic. Why do you consider Tupac to be in your top 5? This figure that basically said, I was killed because of what I said and what I thought. And do you consider Pac a great lyricist?
Mecca.
You and Pac look alike?
No, we do not. Where's that shit coming from?
Right. You look nothing like Pac.
Tell that to other people. Somebody tweeted me that shit the other day. Okay, is Tupac a lyricist? Probably not. He was not one of the best at bending a phrase and flipping metaphors and this, that, and the third. Top 5, you have to make an argument for him being in the top 5, if nothing else than for his impact. Pac said shit that motherfuckers felt. And they have felt it 15 years past him dying. The fact that we hadn't seen a motherfucker like Pac running around hip-hop before he got here. Like, Pac was an original dude. You see elements of Pac in so many popular rap. If you take your shirt off, either LL or Pac. If you say the word thug at all, that is Pac out your mouth right there.
Thug
nobody
life,
gave a fuck about thug life.
When Biggie was alive, I remember people talking about who's the greatest, Biggie, J, Nas, Raw, KRS, whoever. I don't remember when Pac was alive, people putting him in the category of being the greatest of all time. It's a similar thing to Jay Dilla. I don't remember people bringing up Jay Dilla as the greatest producer of all time until after he died, because that's when his impact was felt more.
At the time, there was a whole lot of East Coast bias.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting to. By the time Biggie came around, Pac was the impetus of so much controversy. People who were kind of late into the Pac craze knew not the early Pac, not the music Pac, but they knew the rhetoric Pac first. They knew the dude that had already gone to jail for rape. They knew the dude that was spazzing out and spitting at cameras. They knew that dude before the music. I think that was the distraction.
When I speak to people who tell me Pac is the greatest ever, are generally the people who got into Pac from Death Row days and the material that came out afterwards. I feel like the people who think he's the greatest of all time often think it for the wrong reasons. For the imagery that was created of Pac afterwards.
I agree with you on that some of the people that do consider him to be the GOAT are looking more at that than actually him musically.
That's that impact I was talking about.
Right, so
one of the first times I remember seeing him was Strictly for My Niggas. And he had that video, Holla If You Hear Me.
Yes.
Dog, when he was sitting there with a cop's hat on his finger. Said, will I quit? Will I quit? And he was flipping it around. They claim that I'm violent, but still I kick. I was like,
you kind of do look like Pac.
I'll kill you. I'll stab you.
When you just did the little like movement, you kind of, I could see it.
I'm probably gonna get bashed for this too, but like I'm literally scared of that nigga. Like Pac like has this presence that I want to be nowhere near.
Low-key scared of Pac. First of all, Lo, he's not here now. We can't hurt you. Boogie made Pac.
Of the character or of him?
Just him, like him as a person. Like he has this very aggressive and abrupt personality that you just want to observe. And that's what I saw in Juice, and that's what I hear in his music. But I'm like, personally, I'm not like the biggest.
But you didn't see Pac's personality in Juice.
Yes, you did.
No, you didn't. You saw a character. Low-key is scared of everybody. Lo is scared of Valerie. At some point, you should learn to read and then go online and Google the script for Juice and read it.
So why don't you say the same thing to him? Because he just said it's not much of a stretch.
Lo's drinking. Drunk dudes can't fight. He's drunk. He's not going to be able to fight. That's the problem. Drunk people get paranoid. Or is that weed smoking people?
You try to be a smart ass.
I think what Lo is saying,
his mannerisms and the way
I think what Lo is saying is there are aspects of Pac that him pushing someone off a roof isn't that much of a stretch. You have to ask yourself how much of that was actually acting. Like how much of himself did Pac put into that role?
Let me rephrase that. I wasn't scared. Like he has a very powerful presence and an ambiance and an aura. The aura of Tupac was always focused on the negative things that he was doing in society and the negative things that the press was, putting out about him. Tupac obviously will be a legend, always will be a legend, but that's a strong and very intimidating figure.
And then in the same note, one day it's Brenda's Got a Baby, one day it's I Get Around, the next day it's Holla If You Hear Me on his Revolution shit, and someday it was Strictly for My Niggas, like I'm thugging, bitch, it ain't meant to be understood. And people would always be like, well, he's contradicting himself. No, he's not. He was multifaceted in his topics, and his range was retarded. He talked about whatever he wanted. One minute it was revolution, the next minute it was freaky chicks.
perfectly natural to contradict yourself at times, and it's perfectly natural to have different sides of your personality. It's actually a really good debate on the problem with hip hop right now, because everybody's bought into everybody being a one-dimensional character. Oh, he's a thug. Oh, he's conscious. Oh, he's what? Because you're conscious, you don't want to go to a club and get a woman drunk. Because you're, you know, because you're a thug. What, you don't love your mum?
Thugs really love their mums.
Mom.
Like seriously? No, dead ass.
Mom.
No,
Fuck that. I like mom.
that's
I remember being in London and seeing Kweli in a party, and some girls out there like, oh, look at him, he's just partying, he's getting drunk, blah blah blah. You know, I have so much love for him and his music, and it's like, he's a real fucking person, man. Of course he goes to parties and gets drunk and wows out like everyone else. Same way you could probably have a really deep, intelligent conversation with a rapper out there who's supposedly, you know, a super thug or whatever. It's, you know, people have different sides to their personalities. No one's one-dimensional, no matter how they're pushed to you as an artist.
There's a whole lot of aspects to Pac's personality, and people fell in love and adored each and every single aspect. The way he was making the transition at the moment of his death is very akin to Malcolm X to me. And I'm not saying he stood up for his people in the same way that Malcolm X did, but he stood up for his people. People were not making Brenda's Got a Baby like there was a message in that shit. Keep your head up. That was a message fucking record. And then he turned around and said, I get around. But keep your head up. A lot of rappers don't even have that substance. They don't seem to stand for anything more than money. Things that would justify a top 5 entry on anybody's list across the board. Impact, lyrics, flow, content, and overall presence.
My top 5: Jay, Nas, Big L, Ghostface, and Big.
Jay, Pac, Big, Andre 3000. I want to leave my 5th open.
Mine's Jay, Big, Kanye, M. I'm gonna leave that top. That it's not Pac, but I'm gonna leave that slot open. Oh wait, and Snoop.
Okay, there you go.
Snoop.
Jay, Eminem. I really like Jadakiss, Biggie, and I don't have a 5.
That 5th one is hard because I feel like there's at least 4 rappers, depending on their like new material, I want to put them in that.
I'm really surprised that I'm in New York right now and I'm the only one that said Nas in my top.
No, you're not. He's in my top 5.
Oh, he's in yours?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you weren't. I just didn't get to mine yet. Jay, Nas, Pun, Big L.
Interjection. Want the swinging, revolving door between Snoop and Nas. I forgot. I completely forgot about Nas.
I was more shocked that initially Nas wasn't in anyone's top 5, and it took a few regos for people to put him in the top 5. To be honest, to me, that would be more shocking.
Rakim.
I like Big Boy, Biggie, Andre 3000, Scarface. I'm gonna throw Wale in there.
Wale.
In your top 5 of all time?
Wale that works at Rite Aid? What Wale? I want to be clear what Wale you're talking about. The homegirl said that Wale was in her top 5.
Wale being in your top 5 of all time, I just don't understand that.
I used to work closely with him, but just...
Alright, so you're basically being very biased.
I definitely threw Wale in, because of course that's the publicist in me.
That's like saying if you worked at McDonald's, it's one of my favorite restaurants. Well, you work there, so you're a little bit biased.
Even what he raps about, like, sometimes I would listen and I would be like, dang, like you would have to literally go back and listen just to catch what he was saying, because that's how over a lot of people's heads it goes, just because he is that brilliant with it. So that's why I'm saying that as far as the content, in my opinion.
It's all opinion.
Yeah, it's all opinion.
The man has only had 1 album. What are you doing with yourself? What are you doing? What are you listening to? Where's your iPod? Like, what?
Right now, he's not a top 5 rapper. But I mean, I don't knock her for putting Wale in her top 5. I really don't. I mean, Wale is one of those individuals that he has a huge chip on his shoulder. I don't think he's the best. I think he has plenty of room to grow. He has plenty of potential.
I was surprised at how many people did not have Tupac in their top 5. I do love Tupac, and I know a lot of people who love Tupac. He was so influential in hip hop to me. Tupac, yes, he would definitely be in my top 5 of all times. But not insane.
So people, when you start typing your little comments, don't take personal. The top 5s of the individuals on our panel do not reflect what we think wholeheartedly as a company. These are the opinions of each individual in the room. We're not Forbes giving you a list, okay?